Hello, this is Mark Silverman, managing member and founder of Silverman & Associates, and I'm also a certified financial planner professional. I want to welcome you to the Saving with Silverman podcast. I'm glad you're here. Each week, we'll discuss different financial planning topics because making smarter choices about your money impacts the quality of your life.
Hey, Mark, I've got something that's kind of fun I read earlier this week. I thought you'd get a kick out of this. A fun fact of the week. Being forgetful can be a sign of high intelligence, according to researchers from the University of Toronto. And if that's true, I must be a really smart guy.
Exactly, right? That is kind of interesting. I never heard that before.
Yeah, I guess if you are a very intelligent person, you have a lot on your mind, and maybe you have trouble keeping it all straight. Maybe that's it.
I guess. Or you're just stressed out, and maybe you're not that intelligent. I don't know.
Maybe so. Well, yeah, that's very much the case.
Yeah.
You know, I don't claim to be extraordinarily intelligent, but you do, because when it comes to money, because everybody wants to talk to you. Let's talk about the very first visit. Some people are really nervous about the idea of meeting with a financial advisor because they just don't know what to expect. They think they're going to be sold something they don't need, pressured to do this or do that. Are they going to be criticized or chastised for not handling their money well enough up until that point? So let's take some of the mystery out of that very first visit. How hard is it to get prepared for a visit with Mark Silverman, and what do people need to do in order to be ready?
There's not a lot. I mean, the first step, the hardest thing I think for people is just reaching out. And I know you'll give out the number, but really we started all off with a phone call. So we spend 15 to 20 minutes on a phone call. I'll answer any questions that the client might have as far as, our process and maybe their investment related, and I'll try to provide some guidance in regards to that. But, if we do decide we're both a good fit, we'll have you come into the office at no charge, and we'll kind of talk about things from there. There is some paperwork that we ask for people to fill out just to save some time, and it's asking just general questions. We don't require people to bring in their statements. They certainly can if they want to, but they're not required to. It's really a getting acquainted meeting, so it's just meeting each other, making sure we're a good fit and we're comfortable. I can tell you that if you're meeting with someone and they're putting pressure on you, especially after the first time to buy a product, that's typically somebody trying to sell you an annuity. And I know on the radio, it seems like there's more and more annuity salespeople on the radio now more than ever, which is not surprising with the markets the way they are. A lot of the annuity people like to sell on fear. And so, that's that sort of thing. We're kind of getting off track. But, really, I guess the first thing is just to, what questions do you have? Some people can go online and get certain questions that they want answered. There's no right or wrong questions. It's just what information you're looking for and making sure that we're a good fit and you feel comfortable. If you're not comfortable with whoever you meet with, it's probably not going to be a good fit.
Yeah. Do you ever find yourself having to be stern with somebody to make sure they're aware of the seriousness of their situation?
So we do financial planning with all of our clients, and that's a process which takes several meetings. But by the end of that process, our clients have a comprehensive, custom, full financial plan. And as I tell people, I wish everything worked out perfectly as far as here's what you want to do. You have enough money to do it. Go on and live your life. A lot of times there's some adjustments that need to be made. And some of those do require maybe working longer than you anticipated, saving more than you anticipated. And so at the end of the day, it's your financial plan. And if you want to accomplish those goals, we will tell you what you need to do to get to those, and we can't sugarcoat it. It is what it is. But as I tell people, it's your financial future. It's got to be more important to you than it is to me. We're happy to guide clients and get them in the right place and give them advice. But as far as taking the action, it does come down to the client. And sometimes, these are serious conversations that need to be dealt with, or you're going to have issues later on if you don't deal with them.
Okay, we're talking about the first visit here on Saving with Silverman. I'm Ron Stutz along with Mark Silverman. What's a question that you often ask people in that very first visit that they weren't expecting you to ask?
I try to get a little bit of background. Like I said, we have some forms that we do, some checkbox forms where we like to get a good idea from clients before they come in, or prospects before they come in, as far as their history with investing, how confident are they, how satisfied are they with their financial situation, with the people they're working with. And that's kind of the things we want. It's a financial satisfaction survey that we actually ask clients to complete, because we want to know where they stand, and there's no right or wrong answers. It's how you feel, so there's no judgment there. But those sorts of things that people say that's not typically, most people want me to come in and bring my statements because they're going to turn around and try to sell you something right away. We do not work that way. Let me repeat, we do not work that way. We take our time with people. We want to make sure they're a good fit. We do planning first before we even give any advice. We're not here to try to sell you something. And, there are people that want to sell you something, and there's more power to them. If that's something you're looking to do, is just have somebody sell you a product and call it at the end of the day, that's not us. There's plenty of those folks out there that you can reach out to.
Well, with Mark Silverman, it's all about building a relationship, getting to know you, getting to know what's important to you, what your hopes and dreams are for retirement, and that's how he's able to help you get to and through retirement. It's not about pressuring you to buy anything, that's for sure.
Correct.
What's a common issue or strategy that you end up pointing out to people that they didn't even know to ask about?
I think one of the misleading things that a lot of people don't understand is we have a lot of clients that are retiring prior to, whether it be 70, 72, 75, whatever. So if they're retiring prior to taking Social Security, which is at 72, which is when RMDs must start, required minimum distributions, if somebody's retiring maybe in their early 60s or mid 60s, looking at doing partial Roth conversions, a lot of people don't know about that strategy. A lot of people, CPAs, haven't told them about that strategy. Yeah. And that's something I think that can make a lot of sense, especially given this environment, to look to do those. And a lot of people aren't even aware of those. So just having those conversations and making people aware of that.
Well, I know that this doesn't necessarily happen very often, but how often do you tell somebody that you just don't think you can help them?
That's a great question. We try to help everybody. I mean, I got in this business to help people. With that being said, not everybody's a good fit for what we do. I can't take on everybody, but I do try to help everybody. So if that means, giving somebody some general advice or pointing them in the right direction, if they're just getting started, whatever it might be, I'll try to help them. But if they're not a good fit, I have to let the clients know that and the reason why. And I think people understand that. And I explain it in a way that's caring and not just, we don't want to work with you, but we're not a good fit. And here might be some other options that might be a better fit for you at this time.
Okay. And last question I want to ask you about that very first visit that folks have with you, either on the phone or whatever the case may be. Mark, fill in this blank. When a visit with you ends, people often say blank.
I wish I would have reached out to you sooner. But as I tell people, you are where you are. You're better now than later, right? And so you can't, you are where you are. You can't do anything about that. The only thing you can do is know where you are right now and then make changes to move in the right direction going forward. So, sooner sometimes is better, but you are where you are and you have to just make the best of that situation. You can't kick yourself, for where you are and, had you not taken action sooner. But you are, like I said, just trying to move forward and make the best financial decisions for you and your family from this point forward.
You've been listening to the Saving with Silverman podcast. If you have any questions at all about your financial situation, please give Mark Silverman a call. Again, his number is 520-333-7601 or go online to savingwithsilverman.com. For Mark Silverman, I'm Ron Stutz. We'll see you next time on the Saving with Silverman podcast.
The Saving with Silverman podcast is brought to you by Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, based in Tucson, Arizona. The show is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show on your favorite app today and never miss an episode. Just search for Saving with Silverman to find us, or visit savingwithsilverman.com to listen to past episodes, to contact Mark, and to learn more about how to make smarter decisions with your money.
Did you know that Mark Silverman also has a radio show? Tune in to Saving with Silverman Saturdays and Sundays at 3 p.m. on AM 790 KNST.
All matters discussed on this show are for informational purposes only. Opinions expressed are solely those of Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, and staff. All topics covered are believed to be from reliable sources. However, Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC makes no representation as to its accuracy or completeness. The show shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or investment advisory services to residents of any state other than Arizona or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Fee-based financial planning and investment advisory services offered through Silverman & Associates Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Arizona. Insurance products and services are offered through Silverman & Associates, an affiliated company.